channel. I'm Kristen. You're watching Kristincooks. I do lots of recipes over here on my channel. And in this video today, my daughter wanted me to try out a classic soup. I'm sure a lot of you have made it. It's nothing new to you guys, but I haven't made it myself. So I wanted to try it. She loves onions. So it's a French onion soup. And so I wanted to make it for her and see how she likes it. And then I also have another soup. We had this for dinner last night. It's been cold and kind of rainy and yucky out, and these soups are just really warm and comforting and perfect for a winter dinner. So if you want to see how these soups turned out and how I made it and all that stuff, then just keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe at the end. If you like my content and you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button and give me a like please, because that helps with the algorithm and my videos. And so let's just keep going. Okay, I'm starting with a French onion soup. I'm going to cut this recipe in half because this is really just for my daughter. She wants to have it for lunch and, you know, be able to eat it through the week. So I just cut it in half. So I have 2 large onions here, and I'm just slicing the onions down as thin as I can. Okay, and then in this large pot, I'm throwing in a couple tablespoons of butter, and I have this pot heating up over medium-high heat. Okay, and now it's time to add in all of the onions, and then I'm going to let these saute over the medium-high heat for about 10 minutes. Okay, now 10 minutes later, turn down the heat to medium, add in some salt and some sugar, and then this is the point of the recipe where you're going to need to have a little bit of time here and let the onions break down and cook down for about 35 more minutes, and making sure to come in and stir them every once in a while just to make sure they don't stick or, you know, start burning on the bottom or anything. And I have a little bit of spare time here while the onions are cooking down, so I'm just going to shred up the cheeses that I'll need for the toast at the end of the recipe. So I just have Gruyere cheese here. It's a Swiss, and then I'm going to shred up a little bit of mozzarella also. Okay, now that the onions are done cooking down, I'm adding in a couple cloves of minced garlic. And I'll just let that heat up until I can smell it, and then I'll deglaze a pan with some white wine. The recipe calls for red wine, don't have it, so I'm using white wine instead. And just scrape up the bits on the bottom of the pan from cooking the onion. Yep, get the rest of the wine in there. Okay. All right, and now it's time to add in the cooking liquid. So I'm going to add in some Worcestershire sauce, some beef broth and chicken broth, some fresh thyme leaves and some bay leaves. And now I'll let it simmer away over medium-low heat for about 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. Okay, now it's simmered long enough, so I'm going to try and pick out all of the thyme stems and the bay leaves. Next time, actually, though, I will tie up the herbs in a little bundle, like a cheesecloth bundle, just so it's easier to remove. But it took a little time to get all these stems out, but I got them out. All right, and then after that, I'm going to add in some balsamic vinegar. This adds just a little bit of acidic tang to the soup, I guess you'd say. I wouldn't skip this because if this wasn't in there, the taste just wouldn't be there, I don't think. You need that extra punch of tang in this soup. So anyway, I'm just tasting it here, and then I'm going to adjust the seasonings, salt and pepper and whatnot, and it'll be pretty much done. Yep, I got to add in some more salt. And then I am going to add in a little bit of pepper too. And then I'm just going to get a French bread out. I have a little French bread, and I just cut a couple of pieces off of that, and I melted some of the Gruyere and the mozzarella on the cheese. And then the soup is pretty much done. My daughter really enjoyed this soup. She's a soup girl. She really likes her soup. And she likes onions, and she really enjoyed this soup. I'll have to make it for her again very soon, I'm sure. But the broth, the soup, it just tasted really awesome. It was really, really nice in depth. It had a good depth of flavor with the broth and the Worcestershire and the vinegar and all that good stuff. Yeah, she just really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I made it for her. So here it is all done. I didn't want to put my Crocs under the broiler, which is what the recipe said to do, but so I did it like this instead. It was good. Okay, so second soup is Swedish meatball soup. This was a really good soup. I really got to say that. It was good. So first thing you're going to want to do is get a bowl and put in some breadcrumbs. I used panko breadcrumbs. And then add in a half a cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and an egg. And then salt and pepper. And then you put this aside and let the breadcrumbs soak up all the milk. And this is going to be what helps bind the meatballs together. So we'll just do that. In addition, you're supposed to add in some fresh parsley. I don't have that, unfortunately, so I just put in some dried parsley. I really wish I had fresh, though. So I'm mixing this all together, and like I said, I'm going to let this sit and let it all come together for about 10 minutes. So while that's happening, I'm going to saute up some onion and garlic, and then I'm going to add this also to the breadcrumb milk mixture also. Okay, now we're ready to add in the meats. So I have a half a pound of mild Italian sausage and then a full pound of ground beef. I believe it was 90-10, I think. But yeah. Anyway, so I'll just squish all this together and get it mixed up. I'm trying not to over mix, of course. We don't want tough meatballs. So I'm just gonna get it mixed as good as I can. There's some frozen pieces still left over because I took this from the freezer not too long ago. But anyway, yeah, just get it all mixed together, and then I'll get a medium-sized or a small cookie sheet here. I mean a cookie scoop, I'm sorry. And then put the the meatballs onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet. And also, you'll want to have your oven preheated to 400 degrees. I should have said that first step to do. First thing. Okay, and then I'm just kind of rounding out my meatballs a little bit here because, they don't come out perfectly round out of your cookie scoop. So, and then they're going in the oven for about 10 minutes. And now I'm going to start on the soup base. So I have a bunch of butter here, and let's see, 4 tablespoons of butter, and then a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Let those cook together. Don't leave it unattended. Make sure you're standing there and whisking these together so that they don't burn, and then they should get a nice golden brown color, the flour and the butter. And then you're going to want to add in some beef broth and chicken stock and heavy cream. I will list all of these recipes in the description box for you because, yeah. Okay, and then sour cream. That's very important. 3/4 cup of sour cream. That's very good. I love sour cream. It's very, very good. And then there's a bunch of other things. You got soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, but I don't have Dijon mustard, so I'm just subbing with stone ground mustard instead, and it worked out fine. I need to get some more Dijon, though. I really like Dijon mustard. Yeah. Anyway, and then some apple cider vinegar. All these things just work really well together in the soup, and it's just something so addictive about it. It's really good. And then these are beef bouillon cubes. I'm just crushing them up and putting them in also. I don't have any like chicken bouillon powder, but I had the cubes, so I just used that instead. And then we're going to whisk it around. And then also you're going to want to add in a little bit of sugar, salt and pepper. Bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to add in the egg noodles. So stir it together and then put the lid on and let it come up to a boil. And these are the cookies I made last night before dinner. Aren't they pretty? Nothing to do with the recipe. I liked them. I was proud of them. Anyway, so adding in about a cup of egg noodles. If next time I make this recipe, I'm going to add in a little bit more egg noodles because I don't think there was quite enough. It called for 8 ounces, but I think it could have used like 12. But anyway, here it is all done. Obviously, you put the meatballs in the soup also after the noodles are done cooking. And heat those meatballs up again, and then you're ready to eat. And you could garnish it with some more sour cream. And I really said, I really wish I had some fresh parsley. That'd be so much better than the dried. But nonetheless, I ate it with a breadstick, and it was so good and creamy and wonderful and hot and comforting. I loved it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.